Sup lads? I'm not even British, what the sup boys? You still suck at Fortnite? Yeah. That is why you're here. So, my name's Flux. I'm gonna give you 5 tips on how to die less. This is essentially some shit that I've picked up on over the course of me playing Fortnite and just watching Fortnite streamers. You will notice a lot of players actually doing such strategies, but you won't actually make the cognitive connection because human psychology is fucked up. So again, I'm just gonna be pointing some stuff out that high level players do or really good players do, like Dakotas or Ninja or like, I don't know, Summit or some shit. But yeah, these are just gonna be some tips that you can do, apply to your own game to essentially survive more, get to that winner's circle more, and essentially once you get to that winner's circle, land that final kill. So let's get into it. 5 tips how to die less. Let's begin. So tip number 1 would probably be to honestly have a lot of trigger discipline. The first time you see the guy does not mean you have to shoot at him. Chances are he didn't even see you. Wait a bit, chill out, assess the situation. Do you know where the rest of his team is? Do you have adequate cover? Does he have cover that he can hide behind? Do you have geographical advantage such as high ground or a valley? Assess the situation, see what's up, and only then should you fire. Basically, you get a lot better at this, and over time, you will know when to shoot, when to chill. CSGO pros are phenomenal at this, because obviously, if you're hidden, you don't want to blow your cover only to get one cheeky kill, only to have the entire enemy team turn around and jump on you. So honestly, just practice your trigger discipline. You don't always have to shoot first. Assess the situation, figure it out, and this kind of ties into another point that I wanted to make is only shoot if you know you can land the kill. So a lot of the times, if there's an opponent at a crazy distance or he's just head glitching something, you don't have to fire at him even though you know he's there. I personally only fire when I know I can get the kill, or if I have 2 or 3 other shooters looking at this guy, because then obviously if you have 3 people with a clear line of sight, all of you only need to land a single bullet and then he's dead. So it's much better to hold the trigger, assess the situation, and only shoot if you know that you can get the kill. Otherwise, there's no point giving away your position, and you can essentially track your target until you have an easier shot or a more favorable aim duel. The last tip that I made kind of leads into this one, and that is literally take aim duels on your own terms. If you start getting shot at and you notice it's an unfavorable aim duel, like you don't have a good gun, there's a big distance between you guys, or you're just not comfortable or confident in your shot hitting, you don't have to aim duel this guy. That's the beauty of Fortnite. If you have good positioning, you can literally just kind of run away from the aim duel, build away from the aim duel. There's a bunch of other alternatives to actually aim dueling the guy. Hell, you can even draw it out, wait until a barrier hits, use grenades. With the introduction of smoke grenades, again, that allows for another avenue of escape. So take aim duels on your own terms. If somebody engages in a firefight with you, you don't always have to take it, and in most cases it's always better to run away unless you're 100% confident that you can get the kill. So tip number 2 would always engage on your own terms. If you don't want to aim duel the guy, you don't have to, and especially in a game like Fortnite with so many alternatives to aiming and literally shooting at the guy, you can almost always get away from a fight that is unfavorable to you, so only take the favorable fights. Tip number 3, which also basically ties in with tip number 1 and 2, is to get really fucking good at building things quickly. You don't have to be a fucking master architect to be doing this, but in the end, you still want to have a decent amount of building experience under your belt. So for me, I like getting good at building the 4x4 or the 1x1 room with the 4 walls and a ramp. That's hella good, or essentially just getting good at building quickly so you can always get behind cover if you get shot at unexpectedly. So this kind of ties into number 2, or tip number 2, in the element that if you want to disengage from an aim duel, you can build yourself a nice little fortress, sneak away, or again, build yourself a better fortress and then re-engage the gunfight when you have the advantage from your high ground or from your base. So get good at building. Build structures with a lot of peeking angles so that you can peek from different angles. That's why I usually leave the back door open so I can peek from the sides and above. And again, just mix it up. Get good at building, but most importantly is to get good at building things quickly. Again, Fortnite, if you get randomly shot at or you get run up with a shotty, you want to have the advantage. And again, this was proven by the clip between Summit and I'm the Myth, where Summit literally, he had to jump on Myth. Summit needed to build 1 ramp for every 4 walls and a ramp that Myth builded, or I guess built, but fuck it, let's keep going. But again, Myth was building so quickly that he literally pulled through, jumped on Summit, and that was the end of it. He built higher than Summit and he just shot down at him. So essentially, get good at building quick. It will save your ass, and it will help you take more favorable aim duels in the long run. Tip number 4 is basically common sense, but I see a lot of people not following it anyways. So tip number 4 would be to drop on the edges of the map and then run in with the barrier. Apologies about the verbal dyslexia earlier. You never want to get to the center of the map early, and you never want to start running in too early either. Basically, whenever you land at Loot Lake or Salty Springs, you're essentially fucking yourself over, because that is going to be more or less the central location of the map, meaning that a lot of teams are going to be running through these areas. You are going to be surrounded by teams, surrounded by players constantly, meaning that you will be basically vulnerable to an attack from any angle, which is highly unfavorable because you can get fucked from anywhere. If you drop on the corners, you basically only have to worry about kids to like your left or right, and even then, teams are so spread out that by the time they get in towards the center, you're only going to encounter 1 or 2 teams anyways. So be mindful of where you drop. Always drop towards the most outer portion of the map, and again, run in with the barrier. If you drop on the outer portion and then you run right to the center, there's going to be teams behind you, in front of you, to your left, to your right, everywhere. And again, since all of the points are going to essentially intersect at a theoretical center, by landing towards the center of the map, you're going to be exposing yourself to much more teams than if you would if you were to chill, stay on the outer edges of the barrier, and then move in as it goes in. Final tip, tip number 5, is to always have a plan for cover when running in towards a central circle. So I see so many players just essentially misdo this. They always run in without a plan. They run in through an open field, and then they're sitting there in the final circle with their dicks in their hands, while everyone else already has a pre-established base, or they're hiding behind all natural cover like a mountain, a rock, or some man-made cover like their base. Don't be that guy. Always have a plan for cover when running in. With this new patch, if you hit M on the minimap, it brings up a fucking colossal map. You can see rocks on here, you can see trees on here, little sheds. Always have a plan for cover when running in, and once you have this plan, get to that piece of cover, and then you should start building. Never run in on an open field. Never run into the circle and then start looking for cover. Always have a plan of action when running in. Always follow that plan of action, and just, yeah, have a plan. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you can run into a nice, safe spot in the final circle. That way you don't get caught out in the open without a base or any cover, and your easy kills. So this again combines with the other tips. Always have a plan. Always run in with the barrier. Get good at building quick. That way if you do somehow get fucked, boom. Build yourself a sick ass hut, and then you're fucking safe. So yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed this fire ass video. If you guys want to see more like this, let me know. If you guys want to see a sniping guide, let me know, because I'm getting some good fucking sniper aim, so I figure I can teach you guys. If you guys want to learn how to get good aim on regular ass guns, check out my aiming guide. That's going to help you out a lot as well, because obviously if you're dying a lot, that means you're not landing your shots. So again, another way to not die, land your shots, get some kills. So if you guys are having trouble aiming on Fortnite, check out my aiming guide. Fucking follow me on Twitter, join the public Discord, support me on Patreon if you're rich, follow me on Twitch, and with that, my name is Flux. Thank you all for watching.